welcome back to me, welcome back to True Blue Ties. It's 1 Jan here in Thailand, which is Monday. Hope you're doing well, and it's a cloudy day here today. We've got a bit of a monsoon here arriving. It's going to the north of Thailand at the moment, etc. But it was expected we were going to have a lot of rain. But again, I went out this morning. I went out for a run this morning, etc. With my painful foot. I put a lot of padding on it. And it wasn't too bad. For instance, I ran up to down to the beach, went for a swim. The sea was pretty rough, to say the least, which I love, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. No encounters with any creatures this morning, but I did see quite a few of them on the beach. For instance, washed up. Huge pufferfish, about that big. They are really huge, and yeah, so all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it was a good run, and ran up to the market, and yeah, got some shopping, then walked back. But yeah, good. So, but expecting rain, but no rain. But cool for me. What's it got, about 29, 30 degrees, but because there's no sun, it's not. It's very breezy, but it's not. What do you call it? It's not, for instance, hot, so that humidity's gone. So, but it was good for running. But again, just looking at the highlights of the Mcatee Marathon, 20,000 people ran. So it looked really good, and so disappointed not to run. But other than that, it's one of those things. Anyway, so I hope you're doing well. For instance, it's again start of a new week at Man City, for instance, and seeing what we've got coming up this week. With the goalkeeping situation, we've got the Euros with England against Italy, and we've got Germany against Spain. Man City in contention with 3 of the 4 teams. I think we don't have any Italians in the squad, shame. But yeah, it's I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm seeing the ladies. Unfortunately, it's a 2 a.m. kickoff for me, which is not nice, but it's one of those things. I've got to watch the game next day. For instance, one put, for instance, for the England game. So, for instance, and then this Germany against Spain. So, but yeah, we've got about a week now, a few weeks, etc. now before the beginning of the series, about a month before the beginning of the season, and for instance, then we've got a few weeks before our players are back, etc. And we go off to Italy to play in one of our CFG clubs, and yeah, with our the 1884 cup top, and yeah, so for instance, see how we go out there. But hopefully we'll get the goalkeeping situation sorted out by then, because again, it's just it is a worry. The talk of a right back is definitely going down the Swanee now. So, but it was news, not much coming out apart from what we already know. But there was something about Diogo Costa. Man City have beginning work on the possibility of making a £60 million, including variables, proposal for FC Porto's Diogo Costa. Man City are in a hurry to act soon as possible as a potential competition from PSG. So whether Diego, for instance, Porto, who have already lost Djokovic, who still hasn't signed for Arsenal, but it looks like it's on its way. And if you're not United, try to sign him, forget it. But yeah, it appears that City, whether Porto, but we do have Hugo Viana, and who's there, so so we in there, so see if we can get Diego Costa. So, but my thinking a while ago, for instance, when I've said this on a couple of videos, a few videos ago, I said if we can get Diego Costa and James Trafford in, by I'll quite welcome that. So, for instance, and to tell you the truth, right now, I do believe, for instance, that's the way it looks, it feels it's going. Stefan Ortega could be gone out to Burnley as a replacement for James Trafford coming to Man City. I do believe James Trafford will be coming to be a City, but we'll see. well, how it goes. But for instance, we'll see. It appears that on James Trafford, sorry, not on James Trafford. So just what was it? Sorry, on Edison. It appears that, for instance, there's been interest by Galatasaray, but no official bid. Very similar to what we had last year, for instance, with Edison and the Saudis, because regardless of what the media said, a lot of what online social media says, Pep Guardiola was asked about Eddie and his any bids happened, and he said in the press conference, no, there was no official bid. There was a lot of interest from Saudi, even though people were quoting all different prices, costs, but there was no official bid for Eddie. So whether the one will come in from Saudi, but according to Man City right now, they're saying, well, we haven't received an official bid for Edison, even though this Turkish media are saying otherwise. It's an enough done deal, and for instance, they've submitted €3 million, which is insulting to City. It appears that, for instance, well, that's not the truth. And this is probably is with a lot of social media, or people trying to get that one up, or for instance, the breaking news, or the here we goes, and whatever, and it's all this speculation of about things. But and sometimes you got to take it with a pinch of salt. You know, you can hear people can put it in Man City breaking news, but a lot of and on these AI channels now, but a lot of it's all crap, and people can say things, it doesn't mean they're true, and then they'll say something totally different the next day. So it's what you believe. Happy birthday to for instance, our number one striker, Erling Haaland. He's 25 today. 25, my Christ, 25 is a baby. 25. Seeing him at the Dolce Gabbana party with his lovely lady, for instance, by his side, looking very sharp and smart. Happy birthday to him. Looks great in the new kit. For instance, so happy birthday. Good to him. A lot more pictures of players training and looking good, and gyms and by the beach. Doku, Rico Lewis now. Galatasaray, Man City are aware, Fabrizio Romano of Man City are aware of Galatasaray talks with Edison over personal terms, but Man City still not received any official bid. No formal proposal on the table. So there you go. So that actually counteracts exactly what was said by a lot of the Turkish press, because again, what we've noticed about that, it was just the Turkish press who was giving out all the blah 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 about Edison. They do deal done, la la la, it's all done, and then but there was no one. You didn't hear anything from any British, Sam Lee or anything like that, or whoever reporter, for instance, actually coming out and saying something totally different. Now you could, but people say, oh well, they're on a holiday, but I'm not buying that. So we'll see. But James Trafford, Newcastle walked away from the James Trafford, because they were very interested in James Trafford. So if Newcastle walked away from the James Trafford, because he was one of their targets, but if Newcastle have walked away from James to sign James Trafford, I get the impression that he's on his way to City. So if they can, and City and Burnley, and we've got a buyout clause, 40% or something buyout clause. But and I'm sure he'll want to jump towards Manchester City. It was one of his dreams, but whether it will be number one or number two, we'll wait to see. So. It'd be good if, for instance, if Diogo Costa and Trafford came in and they basically gave them the same amount of, an opportunity. Right, you have 10 games, you have 10 games. Let's see, for instance, who's doing the, and working together, and as a number one, number two goalkeeper who should. And Jack Grealish again, looking sharp in his training. For instance, trying to get himself a new club now. Everton are, for instance, we're looking at him plus a few others, but his £300,000 a week wages is going to be a massive stumbling block, and it looks like Man City is going to have to stump up or help pay some of that before, for instance, he can go But it'd be a shame. But he looked good. But again, we saw the same pictures last season. We had high hopes. I'm going to get my England place back because again, it's a World Cup year, and so for instance, and Jack's got to perform. So, but unfortunately, he's had his time at City. Unfortunately, so. Newcastle identified James Trafford as their leading target, but they have turned their heads away. Nico Gonzalez attracted interest from Europe, but Manchester City are still planning the midfielder remains at the club. Nico is also planned to stay at the club amidst links on to a number of loan moves. Okay. And that was Daily Telegraph. So, for instance, but I believe it was alarming when I saw it. Diogo Costa, for instance, but Nico Gonzalez, but I can feel now, for instance, he is staying now, and we shouldn't, when City coming out and just knocking it down and saying no, he's staying. So, and we've got no plans to sell him, and but I could be the agent who started these crappy rumours, or you never know. So, but there was also Jason Mcatee, for instance, and there was a report that Man City want 35 million for Jason Mcatee. Whether they're going to get 35 million from him, I don't know. For instance, but then again, if you're selling Bamba Boom, 71 million United paying for him, ridiculous. He's worth it, Jason Mcatee, 35 million, but whether, for instance, we'll get that for him, I don't know. But it would be good if we did. So, for instance, but it'd be a shame to see the guy go. But Notts Forest and Everton and a few others Premier League clubs, as well as Bundesliga clubs and Italian leagues, are leading the way. Well, are all interested in, but I believe the Premier League clubs, Notts Forest, etc., target him more. But whether they're going to pay, Mcatee is going to pay the money, I don't know. But I'll see what happens there. So, massive sources. Stefan Ortega's future remains a source of uncertainty. There was also talk about Ederson staying and Ortega leaving. So, but I can't see that territory. I think, for instance, we got to say goodbye to Eddie. But again, it's a shame. It really is. And but and again, we'll just have to move on. Great goalkeeper, fantastic goalkeeper. Rodri at the goal at the getting a tribute from the Oasis concert. Nice picture with him and Noel. And Noel was called pointing him out in the crowd and giving him a thumbs up, and a few boos, a few bitters. For instance, but nice for Rodri to get a shout out and a picture with his. I don't know who that young lady is next to him, but what's it called at the Oasis concert? The weather doesn't look great, I gotta say. I was talking to my friend last night, and he was talking about how they've had, we've had a few good 25 degree 25 degrees. Oh my god, I would freeze to death. But well done, Rod. Looks with Oasis t-shirt, proper Mancunian, following Pep Guardiola. I'm just waiting for his contract. His Glasgow signing a little bit, because we definitely want to tie him down. Definitely want to lose him to Madrid. And that's a nice picture, that too, because quite honestly, for instance, the last thing I want is him leaving or Madrid sniffing around again for Rodri, and being at a Manchester concert with an Oasis t-shirt on with a Noel Gallagher, so with a big smiling face, shows where his roots are lying, like the boss at Man City. So don't have to worry about them. Liverpool again buying the kitchen sink, a new player. For instance, I'm getting Newcastle's target. So Newcastle are doing very well in the transfer market at the moment. They've also got beat by Celtic, who could say they were a bit further forward in their pre-season. But Liverpool are playing, doing well. For instance, in the transfer market, and they're odds on to win the Premier League next season. I'm not so sure. Man City are third favourites, I believe, behind Arsenal. But it's Arsenal. I don't care. If they get Jogger over the line, get a few players in. It's just Arsenal. You just don't. You feel when it comes down to it, as what Rodri said, it's all about mental strength, and I just don't think Arsenal have got the mental strength to win. So, but I do believe it'll be between City and Liverpool. And got to say, Liverpool looking pretty sharp in the window. They've gone off their Japanese JAL, Japanese Airlines, have arrived in Manchester yesterday and taken one of the first times a 777 plane arrived in Manchester. A lot of people, whoa! And then, but they've taken gone off to Hong Kong, from what my friend says, on their pre-season. So the pre-seasons are now starting. A couple of friendlies. United had a 0-0 against Leeds. And so finished before they go off to America. And so football's coming back again. You feel the grind of it's all starting up again now. So so really looking forward to it. So got see what happens, see what this week brings to us. Let's go. Looking forward to the ladies in the Euros and the Man City ladies. And the ladies, Man City ladies, are back in first team training. The new season tickets are on on sale at the moment for the ladies' new season, and but snap them up if you can. Well worth the watch, the Man City ladies, and no Champions League this season, unfortunately. But never mind. So it's just starting raining. Don't know how long it's going to be. Probably 5 minutes. We'll see what happens with the weather in Thailand and what happens in Man City, and But other than that, I will go and love you and leave you. So True Blue Thai from Thailand. Thank you for listening, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Are you into the Diogo Costa? Who would you have number one at England, Man City at the moment? For instance, Diogo Costa or James Trafford? For instance, do you think Jason Mcatee is worth 35 million? Do you think we'll get 35 million for him? It's going to be tough, I will see. It's always watch this space. You never know. It comes in waves. You never know what's going to happen at City. So anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave a True Blue Chat from Thailand. I'll talk to you tomorrow.